Okay, so feel free to play along at home.
Right on it, right?
Let us know down in the comments
right
below
over
what you think about all of these. What do you call them? Like
Traits.
Traits? Quirks?
Traits.
However you want to call them.
The traits.
Traits.
You know, if you were to play an RPG and they had these, you would see them as good or bad.
Okay, sure. So let's...
Does your character frequently get drunk? That's a bad trait to have in a character that you want to...
See, this is going to be interesting because I don't think I've ever actually like sat down and thought
about
about whether something is a green or red flag. You know?
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that, you know, I think if you're fortunate enough to ever get in a relationship, you learn that...
Did you say?
Because God knows our audience will never.
Listen, hey, come on, all right? I'm right here.
Anime fans having girlfriends and boyfriends? Fuck?
Connor represents the everyman here. He's the everyman.
Listen.
That's a red flag.
Listen, you know, it's easy to be like, I would never date someone who has this.
Sure.
You know, a lot of the time life is a lot different than that. You don't sometimes you date someone, you find out afterwards that they like to think the world is flat. And then, you know, that's the kind of conversation you got to figure out afterwards.
And I feel as well, like flags change all the time depending on what stage of your life you are. Like some things you can be way more tolerable about. Other things you just like, what is this shit?
Look how bouncy this thing is. Oh my lord! It's
the fuck.
What? You're like a little kid now.
What
the hell?
What the hell? It's so bouncy.
Ladies, is that a red flag or a green flag?
Okay, well,
that's a beige flag. Pull it out of the dam.
All right. Let's see. All right, here we go. Our first one is...
Are we writing it down then?
Yeah,
I'm going to read it out and then we write it down and then we reveal.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's our first flag. Our first flag is... has the food palate of a 12-year-old.
Isn't that just all of us?
Whoa.
Okay. Whoa.
Do not put words in my mouth, sir.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
What does food palate of 12-year-old mean?
See, that's open for interpretation. You can interpret that how way you want.
How do I spell beige? Is that...
Well, thanks for telling us.
Well, I just realized...
B-E-I-G-E.
I wish I got that one in the spelling. I would have got that one right.
Illiterate.
Okay, we get it. Okay, we get it.
All right, we get it. Yours is beige. All right,
Okay,
ready?
okay.
Let's reveal in 3, 2, 1. It's a red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Why is it a red flag?
Okay, I mean, okay.
I'm surprised not all of us wrote down. Actually, I'm not surprised. Coming from Kai.
Okay, first of all, beige. It's not a quirk.
It's not a quirk.
Eat anything.
Everyone has a fucking quirk about something that's weird with their taste buds. That is not a weird thing.
You interpreted that in the
I get it, Gaunt. We're in trash taste.
You interpreted that sentence as you have the power, as aka you have one thing you dislike. I don't think that's how I interpreted
What
that.
is your definition of taste? What was it?
I interpreted that as they have the palate of a 12-year-old.
Yeah, the palate of a 12-year-old.
They won't eat most things. You go to a restaurant, they're not willing to try stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's like a big part of, for me, is that I like being able to sit down and share meals with people.
Yes.
And if they're not willing to at least try certain things, hey, I get it. If you straight up don't like uni, you don't like uni and it comes out, okay, that's fine. We get that.
This is linked to one of my biggest pet peeves, not just with partners, just with people in general. People who don't like put all of this judgment on something that they have little to no information or knowledge about and don't even bother trying to explore.
Oh, cheers.
I guess there's like a way to interpret it, but how picky are we like saying right now? How picky are we talking about?
Well, picture your average 12-year-old at a restaurant or something, right? They're gonna probably pick the most, like when I was 12-year-old, I wasn't fucking exploring food or anything
They'll probably always eat the same thing.
Yeah.
They tend to be like, you know, ordering with them is never fun. Like, I think a fun part of ordering, especially when we all go out, we're like, what are you guys feeling? And we all just kind of try a bunch of things.
Yeah, it's like, I've never tried that thing before. I'll give it a go.
Sometimes you go out, people, and they're like, I will only eat this one thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, that's fine.
Or they're like super specific about what they can eat because they're comfortable with it.
And that's fine. Like, and it makes it sound like we hate these people. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's like, for me, if I was to be with someone, that's something that I would care about, is being able to share those foods.
As someone who, famously fucks with everything in terms of food.
You do fuck with too much, though.
Yeah. I love that.
There are some things you shouldn't fuck with, Joey.
No, but like, for me, it's like, if you tell me that if I go to a new country or something and I see this like particular cuisine that I've never heard of, don't even know what the hell it is, right? Because it might be in a completely different language. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Never seen anything like it before. If the locals tell me that it's good shit, it's edible, it might differ. Some people like it, some people don't. That just piques my curiosity of being like, well, I want to try this thing out. I want to explore.
You're always willing to try something.
Yeah, I'm always willing to try something out before I judge something. You know?
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Then I would not be with someone if they weren't willing to like try other things.
Yeah, like, what if Sydney only ate chicken nuggets, because she's from Wisconsin, which is a possible time.
Cheese curds. What if she only ate cheese curds?
She only ate like cheese curds and fries.
I've not met a single person that is as bad as what you guys are talking about, though.
You've never met someone.
I've met so many people.
I have not. Like even I'm going to like deep into like Wisconsin. People are willing to try out new things. Might not always like it, but people are normally willing to at least try something to be like, nah, just give me a burger and cheese and cheese curds.
I've met people who only eat like fast food.
Yeah,
they will not. Out of preference, they just don't like anything else, and they're not willing.
Look, I understand if
American?
Most of the people, I'm not trying to be like, because we hate on Americans so much. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's most of the time people I meet who are super picky are normally American. However, I have met a bunch of British people who also are fucked in this.
I've met some Australians who are like this. The way they're just not willing to try anything.
Preface this, I'm also around Americans the most. I'm around more Americans than not, so I feel like this is also why my judgment is
it's a bit skewed, but I get if like allergies are involved, right? Like obviously you can't.
Yeah, if you have a disease or you can't eat certain foods,
or if there's like something that is physically stopping you from eating. Or if there's something physically stopping you, like at a chemical level of you not being able to eat a certain thing, okay, yeah, okay, then I understand.
Your immune system just hates you.
Yeah,
it's just an immune diff.
Then I get it. But like, if you look at this thing and you're just like, the one thing this is one thing that this pet peeve I hate the most is when something comes out and before they've even tried it, they go, "What is that?" And then they try and know every single little detail, and then after hearing all the details, they're like, "No, I'm not going to try it."
Okay, but sometimes there are things that you don't really have any interest in wanting to fuck with. Like, would you feel that way if someone's like, "Nah, I'm good, never trying natto"?
No. I think you should give anything a go, and if you don't like it, then now you know. It's like you try it once, you don't like it. Okay, that's completely fine. That you don't like. I'm not gonna hate everyone who doesn't like natto, obviously, but like I'm gonna hate you even more if you say you don't like natto without even trying it out. Because as we've found out, you used to not like natto, and then you tried it on After Dark, and you fucked with it.
There is some kind of like psychological thing there where you like almost fearing this food so much that there's no possible part of your brain that will allow you to think it tastes good or the texture's good or whatever. And I don't think that's the thing. But yeah, I mean, if I go to a restaurant and like 50% plus of the things you don't want to eat or you're not willing to try, I'm like, okay, well then what, like, because for me that's a lot of, that's like that's a lot of my downtime is like being able to share that time.
Totally.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate we get to go out.
Yeah, I mean, I say this because so as long as they're willing to try things, that's why I didn't put like red flag because
you just put nothing. You put no flag.
I guess
you could have just put no flag.
Okay, no flag.
You made it be like, oh, that's a weird thing.
Okay, the way I interpreted that is like taste buds of a 12-year-old, right? Yeah. That means they just haven't gone out of their comfort zone for like a lot of things. Because I remember when I first started dating Sydney, she had not really had anything but like American foods, and she could not handle spicy food like at all, right?
Yeah.
So, you could argue that she had not had a lot of different cultures' food, and now, like, she eats spicier food than my mum because she started dating me.
Okay, but spicy food, I think, is a bit different because that's not a taste, that's a sensation.
Maybe to a Japanese person, Joey.
No.
Joey.
I think that is very different. I think in terms of the palate of a 12-year-old is like...
We are really going into the definition.
I'm not gonna let this one go. Yes, okay, Joey. Scientifically, whatever. Spiciness isn't a taste, all right, Joey. Yeah. But if you can't have spicy food, like even to like just a little bit of a spicy food, me as a Thai, I'm gonna think that you're a little baby that can't eat anything with a little bit of spice.
Look, I'm someone who got out of that comfort zone. I used to not be able to eat any spice growing up.
Spice is a gradual thing.
It is a gradual thing.
And now I would say I'm pretty all right. Cocoa level, I can go up to a level 4 now.
No, because
I'm proud of that.
Because like here's the thing. Like I think we met someone about like that thought this earlier, but it's not just the spice.
Yeah.
But it's like how sensitive is your palate as well, right? So some people can't handle Southeast Asian food, for example, because it has like a very, very strong taste.
I love it.
And I love it. I love it, right? But
sure.
some Japanese people that I've met, and some Westerners that I've met as well, that taste is just like this is gonna sound so weird. There's just too much seasoning. There is just too much seasoning, and like to me, I'm like, okay, that's the palate of a 12-year-old. To me, as a Southeast Asian,
are you referring to one of our staff going to Nando's for the first time the other day?
Maybe, but he is not the first person I've met that has said that.
For context, one of our Japanese staff here at Trash Taste went to a Nando's the other day in the UK, and his review of Nando's was, there's too much flavor.
That's fucked up.
Which is fucked up.
That's fucked up to say.
So that's a skill issue.
Let's do the next one. Grant's pull the next one.
Next one.
I feel like I just can't stand too long on the fucking 12-year-old topic.
It doesn't matter. We can do this for as long as we want to. Is it a red or green flag when they don't use social media?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna need context. I'm thinking about these, and I'm like, I need some context.
Okay.
What the fucking? That is the context.
That is the context.
What do you mean?
They don't use social media.
Okay, is there
no Twitter, no Instagram, no Facebook?
Nothing.
What you can call social media, they do not use.
The only thing that I think I will, I when I think of social media, I don't count stuff like messaging or like Line, whereas it's strictly peer-to-peer communication.
People they can text you, but you can't find them on a website.
I know that is technically the definition of like social media or like social is talk peer-to-peer, but I consider that as a completely different app.
Yeah, but if you include that, then like snail mail is social.
Yeah,
media.
right. I think no one in their right mind, even though the definition includes all of these, like would compare like texting to being on Twitter.
Yeah,
like it's not.
We're specifically talking about social media websites. Okay, ready? Right. 3, 2, 1. Beige.
Oh, green.
I decided to put green. I was like,
listen, I'm terminally online. I don't want someone who's also terminally online.
Okay, so for me, this is I thought about green at first because obviously we're in a position where like being on social media is part of our jobs, right? Like we kind of have to be on social media as public figures on the internet. But I thought at first it might have been green because there might have been like a nice, like if your partner doesn't use social media, then that's a good excuse to like kind of lay low on the social media and kind of cool off on being terminally online all the time. Yeah. But at the same time, a lot of like my cultural references that I know, a lot of like memes and stuff like that also comes from social media.
I love
Would
that.
I be able to like have a fun
humor existed before social media?
Yes, but admittedly, a lot of that humor now is rooted in social media.
I don't know. I
don't know. That's like saying, "Hey, I can't get on with my parents because if I say Among Us, they're not going to understand what I'm talking about." and I would argue, actually, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for your brain.
I want my parents to know the Among Us meme.
I pull the weight of 3 people's social media usage. I don't need another person doing it.
I don't even think you do. There are more people nowadays that are more terminally online than there are that are not.
I think it's just like how you spend it online. Like I think streaming all the time. It's just different hours. Like I don't actually have that much time to scroll all the time, but I'm just always online in some capacity. So I feel like I would like to get away from that when possible.
Right. Yeah. I think I put down beige because in the sense of like
oddity.
I don't. Yeah, it is weird in this day and age to not have it. It is very
quirky.
quirky.
They've had to make the choice to do it.
Yeah, a little try-hardy, if you ask me, right?
Well, it depends how they're framing it. Like if someone's like, I'm not on social media, and it's like,
okay, but do you know anyone around you who's not on social media?
I know some people, yeah.
How do they like look at social media?
They
just kind of look at it as a negative, and they just want to live in the moment. I guess that's what they said.
Right.
They want to be more focused on the things that's immediately surround them as opposed to what everyone else is doing. Yeah. Unfortunately, it makes it harder to get in contact with them sometimes. That's like, I guess, the biggest downside. But the reason I put green flag is because I was thinking about it and I was like, if someone told me they didn't use social media, can I think of any negative effects?
Yeah, I think there's no downsides to not being on it.
Yeah, I don't really see any downsides to someone not being on social media.
Also, just a lot of self-confidence generally because you're not on it. You're like, I feel confident in who I am. I don't need to be in this game of clout.
See, because like that is definitely a good thing as well. But at the same time, it's like, I think the benefit of a partner and you being on social media is that you can like, say for example, like, something that everybody does nowadays, which is just like sharing memes or just like bringing up something fun that you saw on social media, or like something funny, like a funny video or like a funny Instagram.
You also just show them on your phone.
Yeah.
It's
not like you're going to show them memes like, no, I'm allergic to memes.
I can't look at Instagram. But like, at
Indiana
the same
Jones
time,
when his skin fades away.
Sun melting. Yeah. But I think, I think the benefit of being on social media is, again, it's totally depends on how you use it. But I think just having that like same, even just like baseline knowledge of how social media, like memery works and how the internet works and stuff like that, and internet culture works, is just a very nice way to be able to connect to your partner. Whereas like, if you show them like a fucking meme on Instagram that has like 70 layers under it, which a lot of memes nowadays do have, then it's not going to be really fun when you show them a meme and they're like, I don't get it. I think in the long run, it'll get difficult. So that's why I put beige.
Okay. Well,
I think valid arguments all around.
Valid arguments.
I don't agree.
It's a personal thing, it's whatever.
I mean, I don't need memes to. I don't. There's more ways to connect to.
If I don't show a meme a day, I will die. That's all I'm saying.
Joey's like,
you do have the most extensive meme collection. I would say,
you
out
do.
Of the three of us.
Me?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I give up.
I
on
thought
memes.
it was you for
I
sure.
gave up on memes a while back, actually.
Really?
Well, I keep up with them, but I don't collect or make note of them.
Why is it assumed that I collect memes?
You do keep. Track
I
of
do
memes
not
more.
save memes for like.
You save memes. You share. memes.
You're a meme saver. Yes, you
I
are.
share
You
memes.
share
I
memes.
don't
I don't
save
share
them,
memes anymore. I gave up.
Right.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
just because I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.